What do you do all day?
That's what I do here.
Francis Curtin has been cooped up at Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center for a long time.
3 years, 6 months.
You heard him right. Room 986 has been home to this immigrant from Trinidad for the past 2.5 years. Naturally, we have a lot of questions about Francis Curtin, specifically why this jobless and homeless man has been allowed to live here more than 2.5 years, and who's picking up his very expensive tab. Sources helped us connect the dots in the mystery of room 986. What we uncovered is mind-boggling on many levels.
When did you come over from Trinidad?
87.
Curtin says he came to the U.S. in 1987 from Trinidad. The Regional Immigration Enforcement Office in Detroit tells me Curtin is not a U.S. citizen, but was issued a green card in 1990. During that time, he's compiled quite a criminal resume. This is Francis Curtin's Franklin County rap sheet. Between 1992 and 2010, he was arrested a dozen times. In '92, Curtin was charged with aggravated trafficking and drugs. He pleaded guilty to a lesser crime. In 2002, Curtin was charged with kidnapping, rape, and felonious assault. The alleged victim refused to cooperate with the prosecutor's office, so the case was dropped.
I've been knowing Francis about 15, 20 years.
Oh, you know him a while.
Yeah.
During that time, Carol Walker says Curtin has been jobless and homeless on and off. Walker says he used to make a little money working on cars. That is, until his kidneys gave out several years ago.
Francis been sick a while, you know, and I know before he went in the hospital, he didn't have insurance, and the only time he could get dialysis was when he went to the emergency room.
One of those visits caught her eye. It happened July 13, 2010, here outside OSU's Wexner Medical Center. According to court records, Curtin became belligerent after a nurse gave him a bus pass instead of a cab voucher back to the homeless shelter where he was staying. Curtin, according to these records, swung at her with his cane and punched her in the mouth. She was 20 weeks pregnant. Curtin was arrested and charged with assault. Records show he has kidney failure and gets dialysis every few days. Curtin was cleared by the medical staff and taken to jail. Weeks later, the case was dropped. Court records show Curtin was incompetent to stand trial. Shortly after the case was dropped, Francis Curtin wound up right back here at Wexner Medical Center. The $6 million question, why is he still here more than 2.5 years later? OSU says patient privacy laws prevents them from answering that question or any questions about this permanent patient.
We're both with ABC 6.
Curtin agreed to talk with us.
Why are you here?
Dialysis.
He confirms he gets dialysis every other day.
Do you have insurance?
No.
And as we discovered in our investigation, Francis Curtin is racking up quite a tab. OSU wouldn't supply us with any numbers associated with Curtin's care, so we did a little digging of our own. According to figures posted on its own webpage, OSU charges an average of $1,321 to $1,650 a day for a hospital room. Do the math. Curtin says he's been here 2.5 years. That's 912 days. Using $1,321 a day, you're talking more than $1.2 million. That doesn't include Curtin's dialysis bill. Based on figures provided by the National Kidney Foundation, that runs an average of $82,000 a year. We're talking another $205,000. Curtin's estimated tab to date, nearly $1.5 million. Ohio State Senator Bill Seitz.
Who's paying the freight for that very expensive care is my first question.
OSU says it provides financial assistance to patients who are financially strapped and uninsured. Some of those funds come through Ohio's Hospital Care Assurance Program, a program funded in part with your tax dollars. How many tax dollars? OSU wouldn't say.
Trying to figure out what's going on.
Here you've got an investigative reporter doing a serious story. in multiple dimensions, and no one is willing to talk to you. I mean, it's almost like this is an issue that everyone wants to play ostrich on, and I think it's very fundamentally unfair. Folks should be forthcoming.
Francis Curtin, meanwhile, continues to call room 986 home, and his expensive hospital tab continues to roll on. A lot of it on your dime.